The next book I'm going to read is really cool. It's based on a true story about a family who donated a very important tree. It's called The Peace Tree from Hiroshima, and it's by Sandra Moore. I'm digging this new spot, so I'm going to prop this up again, but first I'm going to have some coffee. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, good stuff. I'm going to do my best to pronounce the words in here. There is a little, glossary at the back. But, I don't know, maybe I'll take a look when we get there. I did already look, for the record. I'm just hoping I remember. I was born nearly 400 years ago on the island of Miyajima. As I pushed up through the dirt, I saw my reflection in the mountain lake. A forest of tall trees surrounded me. Cedar, green willow, and hinoki, macaques, momongas, and bats darted between their leaves and limbs. One morning, as the summer sun beat down, I saw a man. Alone, with a basket strapped to his back, he spoke to the beautiful trees. Later, I would learn his name, Itaro. I must bring back a souvenir of this island, of the trees that touched my heart, said Itaro. Then he did something that changed my life forever. He carefully dug around my roots, gently picked up my small pine branches, and wrapped me in a cloth, wet from a nearby stream. Soon I was his companion on the mountain trail, leaving the forest behind. Itaro's house seemed strangely quiet at first. I missed the gentle rain on my branches and the monkeys squawking high in the leaf canopy. But I grew to like my new home and the ceramic pot in which I was planted. For over 50 years, Itaro watered me and pruned my branches, shaping me like a sculptor into a miniature bonsai tree. You remind me of the magical island I visited, said Itaro, his hair now white with age. That's why I called you Miyajima. When Itaro died, his son Wajiro looked after me. And when Wajiro needed a cane to help him walk, he taught his son, Somagoro, how to care for me. For 300 years, the job of watching over me was passed down from father to son. When our family moved to Hiroshima, it was Masaru who looked after me. He added more bonsai to our household. Beech, black pine, and blue juniper trees joined me on the porch. In 1945, something terrible happened. A war raged in Asia, and Hiroshima was hit by an atomic bomb. It exploded 2 miles from my house. Many, many people were hurt or killed, and most buildings were reduced to rubble. Our family was fortunate. Though our windows were shattered, we were injured only a little by the flying glass. Masaru dropped to his knees and bowed as a sign of gratitude. I too felt like bowing, as my friend was unharmed. For several years, everyone in Hiroshima suffered terribly. But slowly, Masaru returned to his daily bonsai care, watering and pruning, wiring and shaping. And as we revived, his heavy heart became lighter. And slowly, the people began to rebuild. In 10 years, our city had new streets, sidewalks, and spirit. Just miles from our porch, the Peace Memorial Park opened its gates. 20 years later, the classrooms were once again teeming with children, and the fields were full of cosmos flowers. Then, 30 years after the war, my life took the most surprising turn of all. A brilliant yellow sun rose over Hiroshima one morning as Masaru joined our tree family on the porch. America is having a special celebration for its 200th birthday. The Japanese people will send a collection of bonsai trees as a gift. I have thought long and hard about how I could part with any of my beloved Kadomotachi, my children. He closed his eyes and took in a long, slow breath. Miyajima, you have seen the sadness created by war between Japan and America. You have felt the hope that helped us to rebuild. You are stronger than ever and patient and wise. I hope you will understand if ask you, my favorite white pine, to become a tree of peace. When the truck arrived to take me to the airport in Tokyo, Masaru's grandson Akira shouted, "I'll miss you, Miyajima," as he waved goodbye. A few days later, I arrived in America at the National Arboretum in Washington. I joined a new bonsai family. I heard the tour guide say, "This tree survived the war between our country and Japan and is now called the Peace Tree." I felt very proud. The next year, our arboretum had a special visitor. He arrived from the airport in a long black limousine. As he surveyed the bonsai collection, my heart stopped. It was Masaru. He looked old and frail. He was holding the hand of a young Japanese boy I recognized. It was his grandson, Akira. "Akira is in America for the first time to visit you, Miyajima," he said. "It's important for us to see that you are well cared for. You are a special tree, a sign of peace between our country and the United States." "You look happy here, Miyajima," said Akira, reaching out to touch the bark on my trunk. "Next spring," he said, "we will come again." Japanese white pine, Miyajima, in training since 1625, a gift of Masaru Yamaki and his family. That's probably the sign that's on the tree at the Arboretum. The end. And then there's a note from the author about this being based on a true story, which is pretty cool. This one part says, in 1979, Masaru Yamaki flew to Washington to tour the bonsai collection. He stopped to look most carefully at the white pine his family had donated. When his host saw that Masaru had tears in his eyes, he asked, "Is everything okay?" "Oh yes," replied Masaru. "These are tears of joy because I can tell the tree is happy here." It's very sweet. That's it. It's a pretty good book, huh? Well, if you're going to bed, good night, sleep tight. Auntie Kiki loves you.